this little town of 20,000 people is mostly going to other churches, and only you cripples come to see me to see if we can get better. All the others are cripples but never get better.
Yeah.
And the reason why there's not many people here is because people get better. And they don't have to come every Sunday. So we don't have a big pool because the pseudo-Christians give me a hard time, they have for a long time. They're worse than the media. Yeah, now your question is, you need a microphone though.
Thank you. Yes, after your session last week, I had a pretty good week, thank you. Pretty good week. And this is Tom Campbell and his mother. They're the ones that introduced me to you.
That's very nice.
And so I'd like to say thank you.
But the thing is, you have some really fatal flaws in your behavior.
Mm-hmm.
And you're an appeaser. And you cannot live a life of bowing and scraping and going along and making people feel better about themselves.
My mother has told me that's for a long time, and told me that came from when I was like 5 years old. I ran up behind a Jeep, and the guys jumped out from the Jeep. 2 guys jumped out and beat me up and threw me in the ditch. And I don't remember any of it. But, and then again, I was riding my motorcycle when I was 15, and somebody knocked me off my motorcycle.
Yeah, but that doesn't explain
And
kowtow. That does not explain kowtowing. That's an incident.
Yes.
That would not make you feel inferior and want to please everybody and every motorcycle you ever see. I mean,
No, I
you see. But if you become aware of what I'm telling you, you would probably, I would suggest that your mother made that up.
I think so.
Yeah, and because I think you'd remember it. That's not something disgraceful that you'd want to hide, like stealing, see, or having sex with dogs. I mean, I'm exaggerated just a little bit because that's what happens. The whole world is just a filthy place. And it's just something they don't talk about, but let me say it. It's something you'd want to hide, or something when people are really upside down, they're proud of it. They want to make you join whatever filth they're in. See, so I don't see any reason for you to repress that.
Okay.
And how was your mother, by the way?
My mother has a pretty bad heart problem.
No, never mind
And
that. That tells me
older.
she's an angry witch.
And she's
That tells me she's an angry woman.
89.
Well, how long has she had? Yeah, we're talking about your mother then, not your mother
My
now.
mother then.
Yeah, we're not talking about now.
When I was 5, my mother was really good. When I was like 15, 20 or 15, 17, somewhere in there, my mother was a little strict with me, a little tough with me, but other than that,
I don't think you're telling me any truth. What about your father?
I like my father. He was
When you come from a good family, how did you get to be like you are?
Good question. I'd like to know the answer.
Yeah, but I'm not thinking you're giving me straight ones.
Okay.
Just think about that, because I can't proceed with you any further. Except I could hypnotize you, and maybe if you didn't mind that, I could do that and see if there's anything there.
I don't mind.
Well, I can do it from here. Just close your eyes. Yeah, you can hold it. That phone? Yeah, hold it. You can hold that microphone. Yeah, look at me. Close your eyes and look up. Now, now you find you can't open your eyelids. You see when you look up, right? See that when you look up. I want you to have a nice sleep. Let your head fall forward. Let it fall forward. It gets heavy. You feel your breathing's changing. The head falling forward. It gets heavier, just as you become aware of your head, it just becomes heavier. Falling forward. Follow what I'm saying. Go ahead. Falling forward. It doesn't take much to do it. You give yourself to me for a little bit, I give yourself back a better person. Have a nice sleep. I'm going to talk to you. You weigh about 500 pounds and it'll be difficult to get out of the chair. You don't even want to, but you can try. See if it happens. Try to get out of your chair. Try. Go ahead, try. Go ahead, try hard. Can't do it, can you? Go to sleep deeply. See, you're too easily influenced by people, but I'm going to take that away. But I want you to demonstrate to people in this room, you can't move, can you? Try. I want you to try. Try to get up. Give a good try, but you don't even want to, do you? And you can't make yourself want to, can you? See that? That's the best you can do. It's paralyzed. Now, if I can do it to you, other people can. And other people have been doing that to you all your life. You're too suggestible. Now, my words now become your words in your head. That's your problem. Other people's words, you're too affectionate, you're too friendly, you are too appeasing. I can see it in your behavior. You're asking for trouble. Or are you? Would you like me to cure you? Yes or no? Do you realize what you're in now? That I can do to you this moment? Other people can do it to you, but not so concentrated, not so obvious. You're too suggestible to other people. That's your problem. You're too affected by words. Now to you, listen carefully. When people speak to you in words and try to confuse you, this is not going to happen anymore. I'm going to give you back to your God. I'm going to give you back to where you were when you were born. That you had. You had that innocence, the ability to see clearly through people, being a little objective to them so that people look like talking furniture. Especially mean people, cruel people, hypocrites. You can talk to me, I won't have that effect on you, I will talk to you as a man. You're going to be strong, firm, outspoken, without fear. You will have no more anger towards anyone, to whoever that is in your life. I would like to hear this from you. What was your mother really like? I think you're protecting her. No child wants to hate the mother. No child wants to hate the father. That's what you're hiding. Is that correct or not? I'm asking you sincerely and not suggesting that either one is so. You don't know, you don't remember? Fair enough. Then it could be then assumed that you have anger towards those guys that beat you up as a little kid, correct? Or not? Do you have any anger towards them? I bet you don't remember them, do you? Correct? I want you to remember them. If it's true, you will remember them now. I want you to see if you can see the scene of it. Can you see the scene? Will you see the scene? But you won't make it up, will you? That's good. So maybe our problem's getting simpler. Maybe you do have some hidden stuff that you don't know has made you less than a man. And so, therefore, if you meditate and learn to be still and watch your thoughts as I teach you, and not struggle with anything, you will have epiphanies. You know what an epiphany is, don't you? Just aha, I see it, something, right? You're going to have a lot of aha and see things. I'm not your master. No one is. Do you understand that? No one will ever be able to do to you what I just did, ever. And you will please allow me access if you permit me, okay? But nobody, your wife, your children, bad guys, good guys, nobody can charm you. You see things as they are. If they're mean, don't judge them. If they're cruel and intimidating, you stay calm. If they're sweet and nice like you are, don't be affected by, don't be lifted up. Don't put people on pedestals. All that goes. Nothing. You now shall be affected only. You can still speak. You can think, but your thoughts will be different. Your thoughts will be pure. What does that mean? You don't know. I don't know what that is either. But you'll just see and know without knowing why you know. You will know, but you won't know why you know. It'll just be like, how do I know that? And what you'll put what is not words, wordless words, that's God talking to you. Wordless words. Real words, when you hear real words and your mind talks to you, that's the devil. That's your dark side. However you got it, it doesn't matter right now. You'll figure it out. You'll see it. All the matter is you have another self. And I want you to see it talks to you in words in your head. And it obeys other people's words. Because they're also possessed and affected by it, like you. So what's wrong with them, with words and gestures and cruelties, does to you what was done to them? You are no longer a recipient of that. Do you understand me? I command it to be that way, that you do no longer think endless loops of thoughts. Negative thoughts will come to you, but you need to be objective, meaning you see them and not be angry with them. If you see bad thoughts and bad memories and anger coming up and say, oh, I see I'm angry, but it'd be welcome for you to see it. You're happy to see it. I see that, wow, I feel better now. Because the only thing that's wrong with you is you repress things and you struggle inside yourself, but you don't talk about it. Have you anything to tell me that I don't know that I need to know? Please say so. Any sin you feel guilty of? Please let me know. You all right with that? You have no sins? Do you know what a sin is? Are you a Christian? So you want to have a sin you want to confess? Or whisper in my ear? No? No? Just think, what is a sin? What sin have you committed that you can be relieved of at this minute by just saying, I think I did this, or I think I did that. Or I'll give you an example. You spill milk. Dad gets angry. That's just not saying it happened. I'm just saying you spill milk, he gets mad, and you says, you stupid little guy. But what do you do that for? And then you're angry, and then spilling milk becomes a sin. when it isn't. Got it? When people accuse you of something and you didn't do it, when you get angry, it's almost like you get angry. It's the anger that's the sin. And it's the anger that makes you believe what the other person tells you. No more anger. Drop it. You've been forgiven. I didn't forgive you. Forgiveness has been waiting for you all your life. All you have to do is accept it. And if you accepted it, you can wake up and you can move. Okay? Accept it then. And the symbol of it is you can wake up by yourself. I don't have to tell you. The Jesus is in you. This is time of year. You resurrect with him. See if you can open your eyes now. You've been forgiven all your sins, not me. I'm not saying it. I'm not doing it. I'm just telling you the truth. You had little tears in your eyes, did you? Feel better now?
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome. You're a different man now. You're not the same. You weren't the same as when you came in. And you will never be that person again. Don't have a lot to say now, do you? Like you had before. Those words were distractions. You'll make all those noises and bow and scrape. It's all distraction to get me to like you. I don't like you or dislike you. And that's where that's how it should be. I don't care whether you like me or dislike me. It's up to you. It's up to me to like you or dislike you, but I don't hate you. I don't fawn over you. See? You put a distance between you and other people. And don't cater to your wife. She's not your mama. Get it all right? Go ahead. You need a microphone. Can you stand up, please? I can see you better.
I'm really thankful for that healing you just did.
He's different. Already sitting there different.
Mm-hmm. And because I can also relate it, I come from a family in the Philippines that my uncle, I have a very mean uncle and a very mean aunt.
Lots of mean people.
Yeah. And because my mom is a poor person and they don't like it, they also don't like me. And they always try to make me believe the way you just said, that they tell me something that I didn't do, and they will make me believe that I'm not good enough. I'm not a good person, and I should not get anything what I should get from my dad, anything. And they ridicule me and humiliate me for years.
You walk away from those people and let them sink in their own muck, okay? And you'll be fine. You are, to me, a beautiful lady.
Thank you. Thank you.
A nice little girl in there. Got a little bit fat, but you can skinny out, and then all that little girl will show.
Thank you. I really thank our friend Tom Campbell for giving that tape and introducing this to you, because it really helps. I didn't know that I have struggled so many emotional stress for many years, and I just discovered it after. I even went to the DHS on Friday to look for a society for anti-stress and stuff, and he just gave me a tape from you. And all of the, I find peace, and I came here, and it's wonderful.
Well, see,
Group of people.
everybody here should do what this gentleman did, right?
Yes, sir.
Everybody should do, because if you're not reaching out to other people, you're dead.
So happy to hear you say that.
Yeah, please, if you got something to say. You want to say something?
Yes, I do.
Please say, speak. You did a good thing, and that helped you.
But inside me, it didn't want to, because I've known my friend for over 30 years. And what inside me knew that he didn't want, when I knew inside me didn't want him to know the answer, if this makes sense.
Isn't that incredible?
It's sad. When I knew inside me knew.
That's what's wrong with everybody here. There's something that's coming here.
Then I wanted to give the information, so I mean, I did it in my best intention, even though I was meditating way many years ago. And I offered him, his second wife, the tape, and she listened a lot. And then he also listened to you on a program many years ago and said, very interesting, and that was it. And he never went and attached the meditation or extended himself. The day he did come to me, I could see.
Something good happened to you, though, didn't it?
Because in me,
You
didn't want to share. Inside said, no, don't. You know, do you have that tape that you kept from Roy? I had a bunch of tapes and stuff I've got from you over the years. And inside me said, you know, you have that one you saved, that tape cassette in that nice shell that you'd always talk about, pretty little shell in the little booklet. No, but I disregarded that right away, and I know he remembers.
You overcame.
And
You
I handed it to
overcame.
him. Now that helped me.
Yes. Do you see the help? Do you see the emotions are beginning to rise inside you?
For the first time, really, of
You're not
sincere-
tightened up. You're not.
Right.
You're so tight.
And I stepped away from the meditation and have been struggled for a lot of years. And just this past week, I've made a sincere step, but it's still, I don't see that light like I did, but I can see a start.
It's coming back.
Thank you.
But you don't get too many chances. But you've got a good start here.
Well, God let me come back
The
twice.
journey to paradise is step by step. There's a point where you cross over from the will of the world to the will of the Creator, and therefore you won't be able to sin again even if you try. You don't have a choice. You're being saved, but one man gave the choice for the whole human race. So we all inherited his misery and suffering, right?
Correct.
Okay, so the neat thing about this experiment is that if God made lots of atoms, they'd all make the mistake and all die, and nothing would ever happen. They'd all make the mistake and then die, right?
Mm-hmm.
But he didn't say how long. He's not going to die right away. So during the period of time where he began to reject the wordless word in his heart and listen to the voice of his wife. See, listening to the voice of your wife, because you hearken to her voice. See? And that was language. But Adam had a gift of being the man, the go-to man in the family. God goes through him. That is the typical family. I'm trying to find the word for it, and I don't, but he's the head of the family. He's the titular head of the family. Men are, they must be. Otherwise, if you are listening to mama for approval, looking to her for approval, what you're doing is looking for approval for what the Adamic nature. See, man born of woman has an Adamic nature, has a flaw. And the flaw is that he will go back to the woman for reassurance. Eve says, I didn't die. She's saying God lies. He believes her. He doubts God. He listens to her words. But he didn't listen to the wordless word. Men have a wordless word in them. You have a wordless word, you listen to it. You do not go to your wife for any approval whatsoever. No man goes to their wives for any approval. Women go to men for approval, and you don't give it. You give no one approval. You speak bluntly to them. My wife looks for approval, and she gets angry if she doesn't get it. And it's a vicious cycle. She tries again. See? And then she gets frustrated. Same principle. They all do. You will not get approval from me. I'm not God. You can't put me there. You don't need my approval. You're a whole person. That's what a woman needs from a man. But if you're looking for approval from a woman, she needs you to save her from that thing that spoke through her. You call it the serpent. Whatever it was, it didn't do any good. And look at the human race. One man's sin, not listening to what you write in your heart, not trusting, but believing the woman. Almost she says, well, see, but I didn't die. What does that imply? That's an implication. And he believes. But he believes backwards. When you believe her instead of your God, you're playing footsies with the devil. And you can't get back. And the next thing he made was an excuse. You make excuses? Yes or no? Who doesn't, right? Don't make excuses. Don't hide behind, don't suppress anything. You make a mistake, admit it. And all the mistakes you ever made will come up. As long as you're not angry with them and are pleased to see them, it's like you know whether to cry or laugh, if you know what I mean, but it's a joy, it's a good pain. Oh, that's what I did wrong. Oh, that's what I did wrong. Goes away. You have anything more to say?
Well, I'm just wondering, after you put it to forgive your father first.
Absolutely.
And then go to your mother.
Yeah, let it go, because if you've been forgiven, if you, in your meditative state, and you become aware that you resent your father, it's your heavenly Father that's making you sure that you, and I'm putting it so that you don't make any mistake, you don't forgive your mother first, ever. Because if your mother's no good, and the divorce is only because your father failed. He failed because he looks for something from a woman. You look for nothing from a woman, not even sex, you don't look for that. You love a woman. You don't lust her. See the difference?
Yes.
Because men are pigs. There's very few men that doesn't fit that description, except me, of course. You could laugh, it's all right.
Well, I also feel in my heart that I need to share this too, that I know after starting my meditation years ago, I forgave my father. Now, does that change today?
You cannot forgive your father. You have to you must find the forgiveness of your heavenly Father first. Then he forgives you for hating your father.
So you have to ask forgiveness from God first.
You don't have to ask for it. You have to realize it, that it's the truth. You don't ask. The Father in heaven knoweth what you need before you ask.
So I never really did then in the past.
No, because a human being can't forgive another human being. Because if you forgive, you're playing God. And a human being must not judge a person, because if you judge a person, you're playing God. You're playing either way. I've told you my story. That's the way I discovered it. And it came right out of me. A man says, I've been hating you for 10 years. Can you forgive me? I said, no. He said, what do you mean? I said, I didn't judge you. If I don't judge, I don't have to forgive. I trap myself into having to forgive because judging creates guilt. Whenever you play God, you're at war with God. You can't you can't judge. You can discern that person does look like a nice person. And then maybe he is or maybe he isn't. And even if he does steal from you, you still don't resent him. He's not a nice person and he's a thief. And he stole money from me, but I still don't resent him. I take the measures to protect myself. If I want to take him to court, I do. I had a lady that stole, a bookkeeper that stole money. She used a little girl, a beautiful little girl. She was a single mother, and she used the little girl to make a little nest back there and stole money from the foundation. So I had to take her to court. And the judge says, but you can make this a more serious crime, a felony. Or you can make it a misdemeanor. What would you prefer? I said, just a minute, she has 17 days in jail. And then she's supposed to apologize because she said something bad about me to the newspaper, like I was a bad boss or something. And nothing was further than the truth. So there was two things. I said, if she would just send a letter to the courier here, that is what she said wasn't the truth, just said in anger. And if she will, pay me back a little bit at a time, $25 a month, I'll just ask you to make it misdemeanor. That's it. 17 days is enough for me, Your Honor. And he says, well, then she's restrained from coming within 50 feet of you. I said, Your Honor, I don't mind that. She can come and visit me anytime she wants. And everybody in the court was, amazed that I could. But she never did pay. She paid a few $25, and then she didn't do any more. I let it go. Because I know she's got a kid and she's going to have trouble because she's now, everybody knows her as a thief. That's enough punishment, isn't it? And by mistake, she actually not tweeted me, but emailed me instead of somebody else. I said, hello, how are you doing? And she couldn't get over that I'm not angry with her. Does it do any good? I do what I have to do. I pass no judgments. Simple.
That's the sweetest thing, though, Roy.
I have no judgments against anybody. If you want to hit me, do harm to me, you can try, but even at age 6, you'd have a hell of a time. I have certain magic, a gift that will prevent that. And I won't even know. I've had that before, even a younger day, but it's like a slow motion thing, like something happened, but there's a guy laying on the ground. Twice as big as me. I don't remember doing it. It's like a faint memory. I don't remember being clever and dancing around. Don't remember. Boom, it's gone. It happens. Or they back away. And nobody ever brought harm to me. Only one time. I won't talk to you about it, too embarrassing.
I recall it, though, all the years. Yeah.
But the thing is, no harm comes to you. If I was in Hitler Germany, I'd be dead, because that wouldn't protect you. It might. Because there's always a situation where you have to take what you have to do and die. I mean, for what's right. There was a little girl in one of the schools, I never forgot it, in one of the early rampages of kids killing other kids. And the kid puts the gun to this little girl's head and he says, "You still believe in Jesus?" Or something like, "I won't shoot you if you do." She said, "I still believe in Jesus." Bang. Well, that was the choice she made, right? Even a little girl can do that. So there's lots of children in heaven, I suppose. Still growing up. Because growing never stops. No one becomes perfect. In heaven, in hell, you become more imperfect, but you're still alive. And you grow more horrible. In heaven, you grow more beautiful. Because the soul never dies. You know the soul never dies. In heaven or hell. I think you all better make a choice here soon. You have a Jesus, and he's a Jew. Just remember that. He's not a Christian. He's not a Christian. He didn't come to create a religion. He came to save you from them. So you don't need it. So you have a direct relationship with God as he did. Isn't that right? Who can argue with me? Better not. Feel better now?
Yes, I do.
And your wife is behind you?
This is my mother.
Mo. Well, she's very young looking.
I am.
Yeah, she is. But she's younger because she does, a little older than you, but not a whole lot. I didn't mean to give you an improper compliment, but you do look, because he's, how old are you?
54.
Wow, you got to be around 70?
79.
Yeah. Well, there's not a whole lot of difference between you, really, is there, at that age? So when I'm 1,000, my son will be, yeah, my oldest son will be 940. So it won't look much different. You're just going to catch up with her. And why are you so quiet?
I don't know.
You all right?
Well, I'm falling asleep.
Are you falling asleep?
Well, I have narcolepsy.
Ah, you have narcolepsy.
Yes.
Oh, why didn't you say so?
You didn't ask.
But what are the symptoms?
I fall asleep, mainly.
You
Mainly,
fall
yes.
asleep all day?
Not anymore.
You work?
No. I used to fall asleep. It used to be much worse.
Well, you're escaping from something.
Oh.
You say escaping.
Oops.
Escaping from something into sleep. You're going to die. Because you're going to sleep your life away. And that's a living death.
I don't know what it is.
Well, no. You don't want to know what it is. See?
Mm-hmm.
So what? Sit here. Let me have that. Would you mind if I do to you what I did to him?
Oh, sounds scary.
It's not scary.
It's not.
Is he scared?
It's very nice, very pleasant.
If it would, what you're scared of is you've been listening to the truth. Truth is painful.
I know.
That's why you sleep, to escape it. You got to all you have is a name for escaping into sleep. And one day you go to sleep and you won't wake up. And you'll be in the wrong place.
Mm-hmm.
Don't you think, are you happy just falling asleep every now and feeling comfortable? Don't take drugs. You don't need drugs. You just fall asleep by yourself and escape.
Well, they have drugs for it, but I don't want to take them.
Yeah. So they got drugs for everything. They only make you worse. They don't know what they're drugging you for. They don't know what's wrong with you. I just, if I may say so, pseudo-diagnosed it. It was so obvious. that you don't want to face something. I mean, did you have a nice life as a child?
Of course not.
Of course not. Well, who do you hate most?
I don't know.
Which one do you hate more, your mother or father? Or both?
Well, I thought I hated my father more, but I think it's my mother. But
You said
but
your
I don't
mother
really
set you up to, mother set your father up to fail?
Mm-hmm.
You see that? She saw it. See, you're not so stupid. Or sleepy-fied.
Well, I don't think I still hate them, but
Yeah, you
maybe
do.
I
Yeah, you do.
Okay.
That's why you fall asleep.
Okay.
Because when you hate your parents, you actually turn the hate on yourself. Don't you? You actually suppress your anger. And the memories keep coming back. And people who are mean to you do the same thing to you as your mother and father. Whatever they did to you, other people do it too. And you're very sensitive to all that. And then it reinforces your anger and your frustration. It takes a lot of energy out of you. When you're angry, you burn up energy. And other people take the energy away. For instance, if I upset you right now, you stupid old fool. Right? If I do all those mean things and you get upset and I'm not a good person, I got energy.
Yeah, my father did that to me.
Your father was a parasite,
Yes, he was.
a vampire.
Yes.
He sucked on you, basically, mentally.
Yes.
Well, that's why you have a problem.
Yeah.
You're tired because if you keep hating him now, do you hate men?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So every time you see a man walk, I mean, anybody in this room, you can have that little irritation towards everybody in the room, all men. But they're not going to take energy from you, but you're going to lose energy anyway. It won't go to them because they don't know it. They're not in the business of intimidating you to get life force. But you're still giving it off and sort of wasting it. It sort of falls to the ground somewhere. It disappears into space. But you're losing your life. And that's exhausting you. Every time you get irritated at a man, every time secret judgments to all these men, like you might have had a secret judgment because he's such a weenie.
It's not that conscious.
Oh, but you are being conscious of it now. I'm making because getting you to become conscious because your father, you by admission, took energy from you, and therefore all men can do that, and women too.
Okay.
But anger, if you're willing to give up anger, you can get out of that chair, walk away, and have a life. I make you a good deal. I make you a good deal.
Such a deal.
Take the deal.
I make you a deal. You drop anger, and know that God forgives you because you're a little girl and you couldn't help your hate it. You couldn't help it. It was a defense, but you need to understand that anger is not a defense or an offense. It doesn't work for you. It didn't work for your father to be an offensive person, and it didn't work for you to be angry as a defense. It kills both of you. And you're next.
Yeah.
You can't go through life unfulfilled. You have an opportunity to wake up and look at people in the eye and don't hate them anymore. See the anger and just give up the illusion. You know why you get angry and judge? Because for a moment when you judge somebody, you feel better than them. Yeah, you feel better than them. Like judgment. You know what judgment is? Playing God. And we all play God. We look at me, everybody. Look at me. Look at little kid. Look at me. Well, you can't respond to a little kid that way. You say, "Well, that's nice, Johnny." But don't rise to the occasion of giving them, "Oh, you're wonderful," because the minute you do, you are supporting that process. You either like people, or you hate them. I mean, you don't judge them or you don't hate them, but you can like them and dislike them. You can like ice cream or not but you don't hate ice cream. You see? Now, you could hate ice cream because someone threw ice cream in your face and hit you on the head with a big block of ice cream. See? And therefore you have I have to tell you, Paul, who is in Canada, who normally works here, he sends me little articles from English newspapers and the Daily Mirror. I know it very well because I come from that country. But they're very apt in talking about things that nobody else talks about. So he sends me an email. This woman is afraid of a cheese. She has a cheese. She freaks out. She can't function. Anytime you show her a piece of cheese, she freaks out and everybody makes fun of it. But she has a serious cheese problem. But it's not the cheese. It's what's associated with that in her head. She can't get out of it. And the cheese represented it. Got it? So you may have an allergy to cats. You got no allergy to cats. Your mother loved cats more than you did. More than she loved you. And you can't admit, so you got jealous of the cat. There's a little boy that killed 20 kids because his mother loved those children in school, but more than she loved him. He killed them. And a mother is responsible for that. But nobody talks about it. You know what I'm talking about, don't you? You don't understand the forces that work at you, and I'm here to explain it to you, and either you get it or you don't. You get it, you live. You don't get it, you die. It's simple. Go on, die. It's a living death. You're in the middle of a living death.
You know, as you said that, I just realized my mother loves cigarettes more than me.
There you go.
Yeah,
And maybe that's something to do with...
Yeah, and I have emphysema. She had emphysema.
There you go.
Yeah.
See?
Could that affect?
Go ahead.
Could that be what's affecting your hearing?
I think that might be something else.
Yes.
But
But the breathing, what she's done is she's sort of picked up all the symptoms. She's picked up the symptoms. Would you please sit down, let me sit up here? You feel better or not? Yes or no?
I don't know.
Are you not, but don't you see what I just told you that you may have not looked at before? Would you please look at that
Yes.
and come back next week?
Yes.
Okay. Because I see you a dull resistance. Like, what are you talking about? That's what it is. There's always a resistance. It goes over the head, and after a while it sinks in.
And also, when you were talking, had hypnotized that man, I was kind of closing my eyes. And I'm remembering now, because I thought I loved my dad. You know, I thought I forgave him.
Yeah, but you didn't. What you put him on a pedestal to avoid seeing that you hated him.
Yeah, but now, but when you were talking to him, I suddenly remember my dad yelled at, if we spilled milk, he'd yell at you.
And made it a sin.
Mm-hmm. And one time I was about 5, I remember he was taking a shower and I opened the door.
Good
He
Lord.
blew up at me.
Well,
And I didn't know what I did wrong.
no, you didn't. No,
You're
of course.
kid.
But then opening a door might affect you. See that? But it's...
That's so great. I feel much more aware right now.
Yeah, of course. You've been doing better for the last year.
Yeah, I'm getting better. And you know what? I'm not associated with my emphysema anymore. It's like I'm separated from
Okay,
it.
close your eyes. Go to sleep. I have that privilege to you, don't I?
Beg pardon?
I have the privilege of helping you to put
Yes,
you in
you
the...
do.
So just go...
I have the privilege of your privilege.
That's right. So just go to sleep. And just let your head get heavy. And go into the state you know I've put you in before. So I don't have to go through that rigmarole. Now, I see you starting to breathe deeper. See it? Now you're in a meditative state. You're not in a hypnotic state, more so. But so there's two of us working. There's the God within you, and me, God within me, outside you. So we've got two forces working here. Okay. Now let me see now. Let me check to see to what degree, because I want to take hold of your monkey brain. I want to have charge of it, and I need to have your permission. I don't need your permission, but I want it because it's necessary for you for me to help you. You can't force good in people. I know my skill. I know I could do it to people, they wouldn't even know it, and I can make them do it whether they like it or not. But that's not what I do. These are the things I've learned, so I've learned to be gracious that way. You understand that? So this is a healing thing. I want to give you back to you. Now, let me see how heavy you feel when I say you feel heavy and you can't get out of the chair. Try it. Can't do it,
I
can you?
can, I think.
But you
if
don't
I
want to.
wanted but I don't want to.
Yeah, she doesn't want to. Always remember, hypnotic states is the not want to. In other words, I could stop smoking if I want to, but I don't want to. I said, but you can't want to. That's the problem of smoking. That's the problem of all drug addictions. And when people impose themselves on you, same thing.
Same type of
They say, it's either I don't want to, I can't help wanting to. So when people say, come with me and do what I tell you to do, and I want you to babysit for me tonight, and it's your friend, you can't say no, because you can't want to. You can't want to say yes. See that? See, there's always the want to. They control the want to. You see that? But that's okay. I like that, and I like the idea you can overcome that, but not just yet. Just leave me alone with that for the time being. That's a very good observation. See, but it's the want to. So now you want to get better. And you want to breathe better.
Well, that thing in me did not want me to come here today.
But we're going to exercise it now.
Well, okay.
Come out. Come out. Start to come out of her. I want you to start seeing the thing. Do you have anger in you still? Is the thing angry? Is the thing frightened?
Could you speak a little louder?
Yes. Is the thing frightened?
No, I don't feel the thing. I don't see the thing.
It's not there anymore?
I don't know. I'm very aware.
What are you aware of?
I'm aware of my body, and there's like a
Are you aware
glow
of,
around it, or a...
and what is this with the breathing, like your mother?
Beg your pardon?
What your mother had, she had unable to breathe, but she
Yeah.
had a different reason for it, didn't she?
Yeah.
Yeah, but you picked up that habit. You resented your mother.
Well, I remember being a little girl and waking up breathless from a nap, you know. Like,
Yeah, but she had that same breathing problem. So you have emphysema,
right.
but part of that emphysema, all of the emphysema actually comes from hating your mom, because you've taken on, you become what you hate. You become what you hate,
Yeah.
and so therefore, and so at the same time, when you're angry, you lose energy. You lose what's that enzyme? Not the enzyme. Adrenaline. When you get angry, you lose adrenaline. You
Yeah.
use it up.
Yeah.
So every time you get frustrated with yourself, frustrated with anything, the memory of your mother, somebody looks like your mother, someone speaks to you like your mother, whatever it is, then you get angry and you burn up. What did I just say it was? Adrenaline. See, adrenaline is just the name of what makes you run, breathe heavy. You know, when you're frightened, you breathe heavy, and you get ready to run or fight. So that, but when you get angry all the time and suppress it, you burn all those up, and you find it that you can't breathe. And what's the other disease when a kid can't gets you?
Asthma.
Asthma. Asthma is the same thing.
Yeah.
Is
I
another-
had asthma, but I think my
Yes.
asthma's going away.
Yeah, everything's going away. I just want you to, I want you to be aware of your breathing, and I want you to be aware of being angry with your mom, and maybe with your dad, because your dad, what? What about your dad? Was your mom mean? She was mean, wasn't she?
My mom was real weak. She was she had a
Feeble.
meanness in her,
But-
especially when I was little.
But the meanness, how did it come out? How did it?
Well, I told you when I was little, I think she hated me, and then
Jealous?
I don't know why.
Why would she
hated me.
hate you? You're a little girl. You're
But
jealous.
I look at pictures of myself. I was a cute little girl, you know. But I used to run away. I used to run away to the school down the street. I used to sleepwalk. My mom had a nervous breakdown when I was a toddler.
Well, she has
so-
lots of anger in her.
Yeah,
That's right.
she get this look on her face, and I have memories of that look, you know, that horrible look in her eyes.
Let it all go now. You can let it go now, see.
Okay.
Because I have control of that part of you. Now, normally I'd put a person to sleep, but I want you to be conscious. You're in a hypnotic state, and your monkey brain, you'll pardon the expression, won't you?
You can have it.
Yeah, so your monkey brain is listening to my voice, and I have authority over it, and I give it back to you.
Okay.
Now, your soul is in charge of your objective, so I don't want you to get frustrated. There's a tendency for that dark side of you to frustrate you with your symptom. See, frustrate you with it means you get frustrated with your breathing problem. And if you just learn to cool your jets, see, and when that breathing spell comes over you for just mechanical reasons, not because you're sick anymore, but because you're kind of hardwired. You have a muscle memory. It's a muscle memory. So the way you deal with
I've heard
that.
you talk about that.
Yeah.
You know, as you're talking, it's like my hearing goes in and out, and it's
Maybe
like
you're hearing
things
a
are
problem.
swirling around me.
Yes, you have a hearing problem because there's something that doesn't want you to hear it.
Right.
So you have a hearing problem on top of that.
Yeah. Well, they said it was birth defects.
No.
But
No. You have no defect. Open your eyes.
very bright and clear, Peter. Nice.
You give me a kiss right there. That's it. You're going to be better soon.
I am. I'm getting better all the time. My attitude or something's changing. I don't know. I just have
You know what the attitude is? Want to. Not want to.
Yeah.
So now you want to breathe, and you can.
Okay.
All you have to do say, oh, I can. You know, because a lot of people on drugs, when they open their eyes, when I put them through a little drill, all of a sudden, I say, would you like a cigarette? I'll give them a cigarette to see if they can smoke it. He said, I don't want to. That's the first thing they say. I don't want to. Or they have an impulse to have it, but then they can say no to it. But they couldn't do that before. See that? The dark side controls your want to. Yeah.
I have a deep sadness inside of me when you talk about anger and judgment. And I've suppressed it so long I can hardly even identify the anger, but when you talk about it, a sadness comes inside of me because I don't know how to get out of it.
Maybe it shouldn't be sadness. Maybe you should be happy to see that you have anger, which is what I'm talking about. So I'm stirring it up so that you see it. And all you do is you see it coming to the surface is, oh, that's what it is. And be glad to see it goes away.
Well, what is the sadness? I mean, is that just...
You're still repressing it.
Oh.
You ignore the sadness because the sadness and the resentment, they're connected to. The resentment always takes you downhill.
Yes.
See? So therefore it gives you a sense of hopelessness. Anger gives you a sense of hopelessness. Because it always produces one misery after another, doesn't it?
Yes. And it starts, I was talking to a friend that knows you and listens to you, and she was saying that she remembers the day that her father died. She remembers every moment of that day, and I said, you know, I do too, but I think that there's something wrong with
But you didn't like
having
your
that
father.
memory so vivid in my mind after this 50 years
Yeah,
ago.
but you're keeping it alive.
Yeah.
Because there's
But that's the first
a
time
need
I-
for a father. There's two things. You have a need for a father,
Yeah.
but you hate him.
I did.
It's a conflict. But you see, what you need is really for the Heavenly Father. You got the need mixed up. See, the father is supposed to be the chief cook and bottle washer, he's the head man in the home, and God's supposed to act through a man like that. But you didn't have a father like that. You had Obama in the White House.
Yeah. Well, my
You
dad,
got- you-
my
you
dad
got-
was a tyrant, a very violent.
Yeah, I mean, but I'm
Yeah.
just making fun of him.
And my mother was submissive like me.
So you got
a
her
pleaser.
Saddam Hussein in your
Yeah.
White House.
That's a better description.
But it's what it is.
Yeah.
So then you hate the father you can see. But that traps you as a girl into hating the father you cannot see. And then now you
You know,
keep
that
longing
come
for
to
the
me
father.
this week.
Yeah,
I wondered,
but
do I hate God?
You inadvertently did,
Yeah.
whether you like to see it or not.
Well,
So
I
now,
want to see it. I
what-
want to know that.
When my father died, I missed him a lot, but because I loved the father I could see,
Yeah.
I was able to transfer my love to the father I could not see. And because something said to me one day when I had that pain of his loss, and I still have the feeling if I go to his grave and look at it. I haven't been there because it's in England. But I can remember I had to fight back tears at 65, right? And that was the last time I went there. And so I had to hide it. There he was. But the point is, that translates to the father you can't see.
Yeah.
So you love the father you can see, or don't hate him. Then you're doing the wishes of the Creator. And then you must realize that, yes, you're trying to get something out of that's dead. They can't give it to you anymore. But you still hate him, but you need it from him anyway. It's a love-hate relationship with a phantom.
Mm-hmm.
A phantom in hell.
Yeah.
See that? So why don't
Maybe
you
that's
just-
where the light, that's why when I meditate, the light went away. And now, when I can see a little bit of light now. Since I started talking this last
Openly,
couple of
yeah.
months, yeah,
Yeah, you've been a very broken. It's taken me 40 years to help you.
yeah. Yeah,
But you were really a
Close.
mess,
yeah.
weren't you?
I was.
No, she works for me now. But she'd been working for years. If she hadn't been working there, she'd been dead a long time ago.
Or whatever.
And she does a good job, too. You do.
Thank you.
Welcome. Yes.
Sleep earlier.
Or is it the lady behind you?
Oh, thank you.
But you can have an next turn.
So earlier you said that it's backwards to forgive your mother first, then your father. So in my situation, my dad was a appeaser and weak.
Yeah, but you have to forgive him for his weakness because he brought the beast out of your mother.
So all my anger and hate for the first half of my life, or most of my life, was my mom.
Yeah.
Thank you. So the rage was my mom abused me horrifically. And my dad would go to work. He was a workaholic, which I became a workaholic.
He's running away.
He'd run away.
He'd run
And-
into his worth, his sense of worth.
And then he'd come home and he was the sweetest, kindest man, but he turned a blind eye to my mother.
Yeah, and that's
So-
not good.
Right. So my mom would abuse me and just horrific.
And he'd let it happen.
I didn't-
Who's worse?
I know, but I didn't realize any of that. So as a child, I idolized my father. He was my hero. Because he would come home and he would be kind and gentle and loving and would be a contrast to the abuse.
Yes.
So all my life I had this rage for my mother because she was the actual abuser. He was the secret nice guy.
Yeah, he's the one that empowered
I
her to
get
do
that.
it to you.
I get that.
So she gets away, and he sits like on a perch, like a crowing, like a rooster. I
However-
didn't want to say the other word.
my dad was he was very gentle though and kind and weak.
Yeah.
I get it. So then
That's the best
saw,
he could do. That was the best he could do. It's better than mean.
right. So
But
then,
sometimes not so.
no, I get it. So my question though, where I'm going is that then after I realized my dad, who I adored, really allowed my mother to be wicked because he didn't ever stand up to her because of his fear.
But you know what? But you see, can I just stop there for a second?
Yeah.
Don't you see men are like that?
Yes,
men,
I do.
They can actually say, she can look and say, she wants to take over all the problems and she wants to wear my pants. She can spoil all the kids and mess up the family. I'm not going to be responsible for that.
So I see right now while we're talking, I have this resentment for my dad. But why I'm talking now is that I went through a transition where I did forgive my mother, or actually God forgave her through me.
Yeah.
And I had a very, woke up in the middle of the night grieving for her broken child.
Okay.
And I had an experience of forgiveness
That's
for her.
okay.
But I haven't had that for my father.
That's important.
But I see that right now. I thought that I had by realizing.
He's the worst one.
But when I realized that, and I didn't resent that in that moment,
Yes.
I thought I'd forgiven him. But while we're talking, I can see there's still residual
But you can't
hurt.
forgive him. Remember,
Right.
you still have to be forgiven for judging him.
But I can't.
Judging him good. Judging him,
Him
good.
good. Okay. So I know of thyself you can do nothing. So I can't even make myself
Correct.
yearn to forgive him.
No, just
But I
let-
can just see that while
Good
we're
enough.
talking,
Good enough.
that I still have it. Do you get what I'm
It's
saying?
enough. That's good enough. You're still helpless, but you wish it would be otherwise. So the Father
With
within
anyone. I don't want to resent anyone.
you'll be fine. It'll come. All you have to say, you say, I can't make myself forgive my father. You see, I'm not God. I also can't love him and put him on a pedestal and make him God. See, and give him a pass.
Still have some adoration because my dad was my savior. My mother beat me. I mean, eventually the state took me from her. She beat me and she abused me to the point where back in, 50 years ago, they didn't take children away. It was that bad. And she actually, she was very mentally ill, they said. They ended up, but I didn't know that.
But she was jealous of you too,
Very jealous.
because your father loved you,
Yes.
and he didn't love her.
Yes, exactly. I know, but the crazy thing is there is still a part of me that is so grateful to my dad for the kind things
I
he did
understand.
do, because without that, I would have killed myself.
Let me put it this way. He was playing a role just as evil, but more so evil than your mother.
But he didn't
But
know.
neither one of them, he was doing the best he can to be good,
Yes.
and your mother hated him, but she still didn't want that. She wanted him to be a man.
Right.
And the more she tried to be a man, the more she tried to be a woman with a man, the more he became feeble, more dependent on her. And that was what made her hateful. See, that's what made her hateful. And then she beat up you, and then as a little girl,
And why was she jealous of me? She always hated
No,
me.
your mother, I know, but you.
Oh,
but
the love. She
as
wanted
far
the
as,
love.
As far as you can remember,
Right.
you've always loved your father for being sweet
Yes.
and hating your mother for being cruel.
Yes.
But you do not know the dynamic. They're both sick.
I do know that. And I do know because I had an experience.
Because it wasn't a pure goodness. It
No.
wasn't a pure goodness.
And there was a quiet agreement, which I recently saw between me and my dad when I was 4, that she was the bully and we would hate her, but a wordless agreement between us. So I always felt my dad was the victim and that men were the victims, which,
They are, but they shouldn't be.
Right.
And that is the sad part of it.
Right.
He
'Cause-
let her do this. He actually brought the worst out of her by being a wimp, looking for love for mama, as I started to talk about early in the program tonight.
Right.
Men cannot look to women for love.
I know that's what ruined him. But he was, I mean, we have a certain nature to us, and he had a loving nature to
I'm
him.
sure.
And she had she'd been very abused, and she was beyond vicious.
Yeah, but you don't understand her life too.
Right.
She might have been, abused
She
herself.
had been, yes, very
Yeah.
much so. So it's,
And so she married a nice, sweet man, but the sweet man wasn't able to overcome her,
That's right.
the problem, and be firm with her. He became appeaser and made her worse.
right, I totally get it.
See?
And then the children, which I am, it's so confusing because the one that looks the worst is sometimes really being created by the weak one.
Yes.
Yeah, I get it. But letting go of it,
See, you see, this is what we're all talking about here is not Jesus loves you. You shall love the Lord thy God with all thy heart and all that stuff, very nice. Love your enemy. And all that goes right over everybody's head. But look what we're doing now. We're taking the idea of love your enemy. Love, don't hate your enemy. That's what love is. You don't hate and you love.
I
And
totally-
don't hate is love.
so let me say this, if I don't hate either one of them, let's just say, in the perfect world I'm trying to, eventually attain to, but it's okay that I don't like her personality, but I like him as long as I don't hate either one. Is that
Yeah.
what you were saying earlier?
Yeah, you can see your mother's cruel and don't hate her. And you see your father's love as pathetic but well-meaning. And perhaps your mother is angry because what she needed was a real man to say no. And she didn't need an appeaser, but she got an appeaser because she was so bullied. She think this is such a sweet man, he won't hurt me. But he did by appeasing, by wanting something from her. All it did was embolden the meanness.
But I have to say this, and I don't know if this is an excuse for my dad, but it's there, so I'm going to say it. She was so outrageously intimidating and so terrifying that
She still couldn't help it.
she couldn't help it. But he couldn't help enabling her because he didn't
He
know
couldn't
what
help
to
it.
do with
Neither
how
one of them-
terrifying she was.
Neither one of them could help each other. It's the perfect, I always say the man and woman like that is the perfect blood cell of a country. Every family has that. There's hardly a family, and if you have a family, you have two vicious people. Or you have two appeasing people where nobody ever dares to speak the truth in that house. Everybody, it's like, no, you don't dare speak the truth. Everything is sweet and nice, and you've got two liberals. If you've got to see the picture. So, but generally speaking, it's one of the woman's a wimp and a man's a bully, or a man's a bully and a man's a wimp and a bully's a.
So weird.
But you know what I'm trying to say. The devil made me do that.
Who do you want to? Who do you
Yes,
want?
this lady here next. Can you stand up so I can see? Can you stand up because she's bigger than you are. I can see you now.
Well,
Lose some weight.
whenever I see something, whenever
Yeah.
I understand something, immediately I start hearing voices in my head that I'm having a discussion with, most often myself, sometimes
Well,
you.
all you're doing is hating the seeing.
And then, yeah, but then the more that actually, I guess I try not to, and that makes it worse. And
No, if you meditate, you haven't started to meditate yet.
it happens. Well, I haven't. I have, but it hasn't been real.
You're not real yet.
Yeah.
But you're not real. You just can't come here and just listen to me make a lot of noises.
Okay.
You need to sit quietly and do the business.
Okay.
Okay? That will take care of it. Yes.
I want to. I
Can you
don't
stand
know-
up because they can't?
I want to express my feelings towards her experience, and I don't know if I was right. It looks like her mom is seeking attention, and she probably felt outcast or probably felt different
All that, of course.
from being her and her dad is close.
Yeah, but with the dynamic precedes that. See, the reason why we spoke about. And so what you're saying is, yes, you're just reinforcing the fact that that was the case. But mother, in her way, a real woman, and mainly all women have that conflict. And so they're broken by, the mother's broken and had a bad life. And the father beat her, let's say that way. It doesn't matter. But now she wants in a woman, it's an instinct to look for a man's savior.
Yeah.
See?
Yeah.
God didn't send a woman to do a man's business.
Roy,
See?
it actually even goes one step beyond, because then the hate, forgetting the hate for my parents, then I developed a hate for injustice. So then where it transfers is whenever there's anything unjust, and we live in an unjust world, then any injustice I see triggers that resentment. So then it's become such a web, because why I think everybody's so trapped in getting back to the core of who we are, our authentic self, is because then it has all these roots. It starts out with that hate for my mother and father, but now that's unjust. So now I hate injustice.
And that's what Obama is playing with. He's purposely unjust and deceitful because that same thing is going on inside you. Is the whole nation feeling hate of injustice and therefore never getting worse?
But he may be completely unaware of it.
And he may be unaware of it also.
Yes, because I've met people
I've
that
said
have
that.
done such horrific, wicked things, and they don't even know, like Jesus said on the cross,
Forgive them, Father.
they don't know what they do. And so if we could really have that mindset that people don't know what they're doing, it would be really impossible.
But isn't that what I say all the time?
Yes, but
But
hearing
you
it
spread it out. You extended it to another area, which
to
is
the
very good.
Yes, but I think that's common for everyone. I think
It is common for everybody. No question about it.
Yeah.
Everybody agree?
Yeah.
See?
My dad
She hit
used
it.
to get mad at me because my mom loves me a lot.
Jealous.
He didn't know that I love him too. He's just not so friendly like my mom.
You see how lost people are? We're all lost. And the Bible says, all have sinned and fallen short of the glory of God. We lose it when we come into the culture. The culture imposes what could have been a heavenly culture, had it been allowed to take root. But evil that precedes you in the parents, unfinished business in your parents, they don't see it.